What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
I take all of mine with me at the Comtrans 2021 exhibition. GAZ Group showed new electric buses, large class, Sidamax Hydrogen and small class, Gazelle City. And these cars are classic hydrogen buses. Let's take a look at what they are. Sidamax Hydrogen is built on the basis of the already existing low-floor LIAZ, which is mass-produced and designed for transportation, of 85 passengers with 36 seats. How does hydrogen work in this bus? Any hydrogen bus, including the Sidamax Hydrogen, has a specific set of components. These include hydrogen fuel cells, hydrogen supply and storage systems, traction batteries, and an electric motor. So, before starting the trip, you need to fill the bus with hydrogen. Cylinders with compressed hydrogen are on the roof and contain 30 kilograms of gas. There are also fuel cell units and batteries. From the tank, a very expensive construction, hydrogen goes into the fuel cell. Here it reacts with oxygen to produce electricity. This electricity is used to charge the traction batteries. And these batteries share the current with the electric motor and with other systems that consume electricity, lighting, heating, and everything else. Of course, such a complex system requires many control units for each of the systems. In CITYMAX Hydrogen, there is a Russian hydrogen power plant control system, which was designed at the Lipgart Engineering Center. This center was established by GAZ Group together with Bauman Moscow State Technical University. What is the advantage of Sidamax Hydrogen over other electric buses? It is clear that the hydrogen unit can both spin the electric motor and charge the traction battery at the same time. That's not really an advantage. The advantage of Sidamax is that GAZ understands perfectly well that we have fewer hydrogen refueling stations than the Hare on Bondarchuk's head, so they have provided for the possibility to charge the hydrogen bus from the regular electric network to drive the part of the route where there are no hydrogen refueling stations. On electric traction, the Vodorobus can travel up to 25 kilometers, and with hydrogen, as much as 350 kilometers. For the city, this range is more than enough. What else is good about Sidamax? The rest is almost the same as in other buses of GAZ Group. For example, there is a motion blocking in case the driver is not present and the doors are left open. The driver has cameras of all-round video surveillance and a system for monitoring his condition. The management of the bus fleet will be very happy to see in Sidamax a multiplex system that monitors the bus operation and transmits all data to the fleet in real time. But most of all, this water bus should appeal to passengers. Of course, like any modern bus, the Sidamax has a system called kneeling. That is, when stopping, it is able to tilt towards the stop, which greatly simplifies the boarding process for passengers. Besides, there is a ramp for low mobility passengers and almost traditional USB charging. And there's a Wi-Fi system. I would not mention the climate control system, which is not a surprise to anyone nowadays, if it were not for one detail. Everybody understands that the energy consumption for the climate is very significant, especially in a bus. The same electric bus MAZ 303 × 10 to the power of 10 has a range of 300 to 200 kilometers when the heating is working. In order to avoid such a reduction in range, some manufacturers put diesel or gasoline heaters, which look like an atavism in an electric bus. In the Sidamax Hydrogen, the climate control does not consume diesel, it is fully electric. And in order not to reduce the range in winter, it takes heat directly from the hydrogen fuel cell, which has enough heat to operate. It's a logical and elegant solution. Gazelle City is built on the basis of a small class bus. This bus is designed for 22 passengers. The principle of operation of the hydrogen unit is the same here, except for some details. In particular, in the location of gas cylinders. They are not on the roof, as in Sidamax Hydrogen, but in niches behind the front wheels and in the luggage compartment. The frame of Gazelle City is lowered in the central part. And it is not just a formal compliance with the requirements of the Accessible Environment Program, but quite a working solution to the issue of boarding and disembarkation of passengers with low mobility. And don't think that low floor and ramp are only for wheelchair users. There are also moms with children in strollers. It will be easier for them to get into such a bus. In addition, The lowering of the frame in the central part makes it easier to make a low floor in principle. Quite unexpected for a small bus looks a solid storage area and even pneumatic suspension, which provides additional lowering of the floor to the level of the curb. In general, everything is for people. GAZ City has the same range as Sidamax Hydrogen, up to 350 kilometers. In general, these novelties look interesting. To carry hydrogen with us, to charge ourselves with it, it is wonderful. If it were not for the cost of hydrogen buses is simply monstrous. What to do? Personally, I am not a fan of these electric gizmos, but there is no way out. All of us will someday be forced to abandon the classic internal combustion engine in favor of these buses. And, probably, we would already slowly give up, but today we can't afford it. Dead end? No. GAZ has found an alternative way of developing hydrogen technology. And this is not just hydrogen that can be a source of energy for electric engines. This is hydrogen that can power an internal combustion engine, or, as GAZ Group President Vadim Sorokin called it, a piston engine. The crux of the matter is as follows. According to Vadim Nikolaevich, an electric car costs 3 times as much as a car with a classic internal combustion engine, and a hydrogen car costs 3 times as much as an electric car. That is, if a regular bus costs 12 million, an electric bus costs 36 million, and a hydrogen bus costs 108 million. Let's assume that each of them can carry 120 passengers. Then one passenger seat in a bus costs 100,000 rubles. In an electric bus it will cost 300, and in a water bus, almost 1,900,000. It's a bit expensive, to be honest. This is the first problem. The second is that mankind has been thinking for the last 100 years about how to make a good reciprocating engine and come up with a good transmission for it. Huge resources have been spent on this, and to give up modern gearboxes and other classic elements now is an unacceptable luxury on an industry-wide scale. What to do? There is a way out. Hydrogen and the piston motor must be brought together. That is, hydrogen should be just a fuel for the internal combustion engine. And why not? This way allows not to destroy the established schools of design of transmission, exhaust systems, and all other traditional systems. And at the same time meets such relevant nowadays environmental standards. The exhaust of such a motor is ordinary water vapor. And most importantly, according to Sorokin, such a design will be only 20% more expensive than a conventional car with an internal combustion engine, but it will be environmentally friendly, will have a decent range, and in addition, will not break. The whole system of the automobile industry built over decades. It is hard to disagree with this. However, the idea is not new. There is at least one manufacturer of commercial vehicles in Germany that is trying to follow the same path. I can't say how successful it is, but it is moving forward. There are reasons to believe that GAZ's endeavor in our country will be at least timely, and maybe even successful. All the more so because work in this direction is already underway in Nizhny Novgorod. The first 2 such pilot engines will appear at GAZ already this year, and in 2023 GAZ promises to show already running samples of buses with this scheme. There is, however, one hitch. All this requires funds. Not only the development, but also the production and further operation of such vehicles. They still need hydrogen, cost a lot of money. It would be nice if our manufacturers felt at least some support from the state, and not just hear its instructions to switch from gasoline and diesel to alternative energy sources. In a word, the refusal from traditional fuel is a complex issue that cannot be solved by a single manufacturer. Neither GAZ, nor KAMZ, which, by the way, showed its water bus KAMZ 6290, nor who else is trying? And so, yes, there are still a lot of questions about hydrogen. What is a hydrogen bus? A terrorist's dream or really safe transportation? And where can we find so many hydrogen fueling stations with Ketzer for these pepperlats? By and large, there is only one hydrogen filling station in Russia at the moment. I think these issues are solvable. Gasoline was also once sold in vials in pharmacies, and cabmen on the streets used to mock the drivers of the first cars that stopped in the middle of the street. Give him some oats and he'll drive on. We've been there. And safety issues are not so complicated and have a solution. In general, let it be planned, and we will have to go through it. These are the world trends. We should just accept this fact and try to understand it. It will be a shame if all this environmental hype is covered by a battery cover weighing 6 tons, so I hope that in the near future, Some fundamental step will be made in this technology. It is quite likely that the direction of this step was convincingly shown by GAZ Group at Comtrans. And in general, if hydrogen had an odor, we would have definitely smelled it at this exhibition. But pure hydrogen has no odor, so for now everyone has to keep their nose to the wind and wonder what and where from in this industry will smell. And the wind direction here changes frequently. In conclusion, the new electric buses from GAZ Group represent a significant advancement in public transportation, combining sustainability with modern technology. While the initial investment may seem high, the potential for reduced operational costs and environmental benefits makes them an attractive option for cities looking to modernize their fleets. As we explore ways to make these buses even more affordable, it is essential to consider government incentives, partnerships, and innovative financing solutions. Ultimately, the goal is to ensure that clean, efficient public transport is accessible to all, paving the way for a greener future. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more insights on sustainable transportation solutions.